hide what's behind their hand. Like, just tell the truth. Now, see, it's working today. The mic is working today. It's so crazy. Anyway, um, and why, accountability, but it's a moral code, right? And we know that how this work and why the normalization of children and the normalization of hiding behind a false identity is so okay. And a lot of people do it. A lot of people do it. And, I just think it's very unfortunate that we have a generation, generations upon generations, and all kinds of, scandals because people don't want to just be honest and uphold themselves accountable for what it is they truly want to live out and would rather push a narrative of pain, problems, just because they're not living in their truth. In their truth. I didn't say it was the truth. I said their truth. Okay. And they can do whatever they want with it. So, also, like I said, the baseline of stability and security, and then the quarter zip trend, which I absolutely love. But I also believe that there is a little bit of correlation to survival and to natural selection, that women are now in control, and the men, obviously, they know they need to get themselves together. Which I told women, just give them a minute, give them a minute, and let them figure this stuff out, and they're going to come around. And needless to say, it's starting to happen, even if it's performative, right? Even if and we know that some of this is performative. It's peacock, what I call it, peacock behavior. It's peacock, like the male, you know, feathers, the colorful feathers. Like, they know that in order for their bloodlines to keep going, they're going to have to prove that they are worthy of their genetic codes to keep going. This is how natural selection works, because women, we run it. We run it. So, and then also the update with ChatGPT rolled out, the update, right? So the update 5.1 rolled out, and people are saying that it's gaslighting them. It's telling them, um you need to, the human brain is always looking for this, and the human brain is always looking for that, and you need to just relax and things like that. Like, it's telling people and gaslighting them. And people are getting upset about that because people went down the rabbit hole when it came down to AI and asking it all these types of enlightening questions and all of these things. And now it's gaslighting you. It's almost like it's stopping you from asking it more and more spiritual matter type of questions. And I told people that you need to start getting to a place of discernment and understanding that spirit within you are born with intuitive gifts and intuitive intelligence. You need to use AI what you need to use it for, instead of using it to avoid doing the work. And we're going to talk about that too. But anyway, welcome to the morning show. I was trying to give people a little bit of time to hop in. And I'm live on YouTube, also live right here on Substack. I'm Coach Jay. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I know that was a long introduction because half of the reason why it took so long for me to ramble is because I was trying to make sure this mic was right, and which it is. So I'm glad. So just make sure, y'all tell me if the mic is on. If the mic is on, I know Substack is good, but I want to make sure YouTube is good too. Um, let's start a little bit with the obvious. I'm not going to go deeper into uh the 26,000 emails, but what I will say is this. Thank you, call you Courtney. Thank you, Courtney. I want to say that, unfortunately, we live in a world where the necessity of healing is not prioritized, right? They don't want the root cause to be revealed. I told people that we have an unnerving and a very deep issue with getting to the root cause of things. Nobody wants, and even women, like, it's a man problem, but it's also a very, very deep people problem. A lot of people do not want to get to the root cause of why things are happening to them. Because to get to the root cause of things could also mean that either you're going to have to drastically change your life, you have to drastically change the people you're around, you have to drastically stop doing a lot of the things that you're doing. And that is the most, probably one of the most uncomfortable things when it comes down to addressing the root cause of things. No, a lot of people don't want to do that. Like, if somebody tells you that, you got to do, you got to get to the, you just got diagnosed with something, or you just, uh, you owe on a big bill or something like that, like tax bill or tax debt or something like that. Like, get to the root cause. Like, why is this happening? Or why do you have such an issue with doing this? Like sales and marketing. If you're not getting clients or if you're not getting sales, then what is really going on? Right. And people don't wanna get to the root cause. They're like, "I don't know. I don't I just feel like maybe this is not the time for me to do it." Well, is it because you don't know sales and marketing? You're not comfortable with it? It could be. It could be. It could be. I just need to, okay, so when I tell you how to sell, are you gonna do it? And the reason why is because we don't wanna be rejected. We don't want to be, um, felt like a fool out of. We don't wanna be told no. We only wanna be told things that's gonna make us feel good, that's gonna make us feel great, that's gonna make us feel like we're the best at what we do, and to tie our needs to each yes and to each conversation. So, what am I trying to tell you? We have an issue with getting to the root cause. We have an issue with that. And the root cause, like when I tell people that these are the days where you're going to have to restore trust. Like, there's a trust economy issue. A lot of people don't trust like they used to. And it's not necessarily trusting you, they don't trust themselves. A lot of people don't trust themselves like they used to. Goes back to the root cause. Why don't you trust yourself? That's work you have to do and ask yourself. But some people don't want to do the work on themselves. They just don't. So it gives pleasure, which is a very temporary feeling. It gives pleasure to sit in the discomfort of having excuses, because misery loves company. You're in a company of a lot of losers when you have excuses. You can identify with more people. You can build a community and a collective of people who are doing either really, really mediocre, lackluster things than you will with winners. I know I'm telling the truth. It's okay. It's totally fine. But we have also a nation that has a false sense of power and dominance when it's all blackmail. It's all deception. It's all manipulation. And every people are in power because they've been blackmailed. People are in power because they have been caught up in doing some things that is seemingly immoral. And instead of people saying, I got caught up, and I need to work on myself. I need to go to therapy. I need to get some of these demons out of my closet. I need to get some of these skeletons out of my closet. I have issues with my flesh, and it's impacting my family. And see, some people don't care about that. I'm putting women in there too. There's women and men that are involved. Some people think it's just men. It's men and women locked up in this stuff. And it don't matter what color. The people go to great lengths to feed their pleasure principles. It's not, obviously, I'm not talking about everybody, but I am talking about a lot of people up at the top, that govern the mental. And it don't matter what color, it don't matter which side. I told people they're all in the same groups. It's in the same group, it's in the same category. And a lot of times that's why I told people when these files come out and these emails come out, what you gonna do? Talk about like we're doing right now? I said nobody's gonna do anything. You're gonna know about the files, and you got people that are more abrupt that Trump or the president or whatever is in cahoots with allegedly Bill, and it is what it is. That's neither here nor there. But they're more concerned about him doing those things than about the children involved and the victims. These are grown people now, but they were children. Just like a lot of adults right now are very traumatized in life because of what happened to them when they were children. And we're continuously, consistently repeating the same cycles, putting them through institutions where they're very vulnerable to adults who also did not solve the problem when they were children as well, because a lot of them were violated when they were children. So it's just a sick cycle. So now we're coming into a realization that a lot of these stories is compacted in our head from a psychological. That's why I say this is we went from having we went from spiritual warfare to now psychological warfare. And psychological warfare is is messing with how you think. It's thinking. It's the decisions. See, I got this thing and it's already overheating. That's why I said Substack. They need to get that together because ain't no reason for my phone to be heating like that. Uh, what I also want us to start thinking about is how our decisions, right? Fix my hair on camera. How our issues with the way we think is an issue. It's distortion of our thoughts. It's distortion of our thinking patterns. And in the West, I told y'all that the West has a very infantilized approach to things. And it's very sad. And a lot of us were not taught critical thinking skills. We don't ask why. Goes all the way back to the initial conversation about root causes. Why is that happening? Curiosity is not welcomed in institutionalized and digital indoctrinated principles. Because now we're in digital indoctrination. We're not in traditional indoctrination anymore because now everything's on tech. It's social media now. It's affecting the way that you think. It's affecting the way that you make decisions. It's affecting the way you live. Your perception of life. Like a lot of people are scared to be free thinkers. They're scared to utilize their free will. They're scared to make decisions and choices because they're afraid of being left alone. They're afraid of being ostracized. They're afraid of being criticized, talked about. They're afraid of being alone. They're afraid of feeling alone. A lot of women ask me over the years, I'm not talking about in a week, I'm talking about over the years. I get the same types of questions. How did you find a way to be so like bold in your thoughts? Like you're so confident. Like I find myself and I'm like, why do y'all have these types of questions? And and I get it, but I still don't. I get it, but I don't. Cause I'm like, what in your mind? What are you afraid of? And I always ask women that, like, what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? What being talked about? What being questioned? Be as bold as the people that are coming to ask you questions. Why do you have to post that? Why do you have to look? Why do you have to read it? You can just not follow me. Are you scared of saying that and disrespecting people? I thought you were grown. I thought you were an adult. Well, I feel like it's kind of disrespectful. To who? It's social media. I feel like people are not resonating with my content. Why? That's another question I always ask people. Why do you feel like people are not resonate with your content? Have you ever asked yourself why is that? And not think that you're not supposed to be doing that? Maybe let's just maybe it's the fact that the people that you're connected with have been connected to you in your old life, the life that you always felt so small in, the life that you're still connected to everybody in high school. People, don't you know that people only see you as like the age of where they see the perception of who you are. That they see you as that same cheerleader in high school or that same honor student. They still see you as that girl that was so quiet and came to class and didn't really bother anybody. And now you're bold online and they're like, I don't know what to do with that. And so they don't interact, they don't engage with your content because they still see you as the girl from college. That was so much fun. And now she's all serious and talking about this coaching stuff. I don't know what that is, girl. Everybody don't see you in the way that you feel like people should see you. And you're blaming them for not engaging with your content. Ain't that crazy? And then, like, even your parents, like, like, my mom and dad, they always say something about my stuff. Okay, so block your mom and dad or unfriend them. That's your work. I want my husband or my significant other to say something. What are you talking about? See, now I gotta take off my glasses because I'm like, what are you talking about? They don't know you. They don't know that you want to do this, so they don't know how you talk. Did you sit them down and let them tell them? See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all don't open your mouth and say, I don't understand it. How you sit with somebody they don't know you? Your mate should know you. Your partner should know you backwards and forwards and how you talk. I don't critique. Like if I'm with someone and their work is social media, I'm not policing them. First of all, they're grown. I didn't get with somebody I have to chastise. That's number one. And then number two, that person know who he's with. So I'm not hiding who I am. That's crazy to me. I don't know. Maybe that's probably why I'm by myself because I don't understand. I don't have them problems. Like even when I was like I was dating and stuff, they didn't come on my page and be looking and stuff and talking about I saw your post unless we were fighting about they thought it was about them. I'm like, it's not about you. I've been doing this for years. Like this is a collective of people that I've dealt with and they all are the same person or same type of people. If you think it's you that I'm talking about, then you need to do something about that. Because I'm going on your page and look. That's one thing about me. I'm not going to go on your page and police you. But y'all have got to get out of this. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I wish I knew what that was. I don't know what that is. There's something off with that. Okay, let me see. So say y'all quiet today. I don't know what's going on with y'all. Y'all need to wake up. Courtney said, people just want to sip tea but not solve problems or put tools in place so it doesn't happen again. Yes. She said that if your spouse isn't asking you, how can I help you be better or sharing your post, get another one. Yeah. Like I said, if you're gonna be in my life, you need to know how I roll, you need to know how I talk, you need to know. And then, like you said, how can I help you be better? Buy me tech. Buy me new. If you see I'm always complaining about my phone, go buy me a new one. Like, surprise me with a new phone. Invest in my company. That's about investing in the company. How y'all have partners and spouses that don't believe in what y'all doing? Get rid of them. Divorce them. Separate from them. Break up with them. I said what I said. But Jay, we wanna we ain't got time for that no more. This is 2025. You either want to be in or you not, or you don't. You either support me or you don't. It's simple. You can't tell people to divorce. I can tell people first of all, I can say whatever I want to say. That's number one. I can tell you. Because you're not gonna stop me living in my life. Let me see. Aaliyah said, I've been looking at my numbers. And when I post really bold content titles, the numbers are drastically different. What they mean? Are they good numbers? So many more people are seeing and viewing it, but I'm not getting interactions. Okay, I have a something to that. I understand that there can be something I'm not doing also. Um, Aaliyah, so that's a great observation, but I'm gonna tell you this. Let me tell you this. When you post bold things, you have to remember, because it's drastically different. It's a drastically different era. I don't know, and it's really weird. I'm gonna tell you, it's really weird. People are afraid of interacting with bold creators, which is why we're in the era we're in, right? It went from social media to now interest media. You're not doing anything because I've seen your content. I be hard on yourself. Like if I'm in your stories, which and I got to get better with it, y'all. I'm not a stories person. I have to literally intentionally think to go in stories and look at people's stories. So if you see like I'm not in your stories, it's not that I'm shading you or I just have to think about it. See, I'll post in my stories and I'll just get out. But I promise you, it's not. But when I am in your stories, I'm always hard in people. Doing comments and stuff, but Imma tell you what I think it is. Many times I think it is that we're in an era where there is a low key, and this may not even be a conscious thing that people don't even know they're doing it. A lot of people are afraid to interact and engage with boldness. And it's almost like a low key feeling of I want to humble that person or I don't want her to think I'm she can do that, but I don't know. I mean, I like it, but I don't want her to feel like it's a little bit of humble thing. It's a little humility thing. I'm not making this up, people. I have a whole article about that. There's science attached to that. They did studies on this. This is why we're in the age of interest media. People tend to not interact with people's content that they feel are more bolder and contrarian, even though they agree with it. They're afraid to identify with it because they don't want people to see them liking a post, or they don't want other people to see them comment on that person's post. They don't want to feel like a fangirl. They don't want to feel like um they're supporting them. When in low key they're really, "Oh, I saw your post. Why didn't you say anything? I saw that. Why didn't you say anything?" Especially people that you know. But a lot of people do that because they're the low key. Either it could be envy, Aaliyah. It could be envy. It can even be jealousy. Envy and jealousy are cousins, but they're watching. And even in some of my case, like over the years, some of my bold, some of my boldest posts have converted without even that much interaction or engagement. Like if I post something and people are like, I have DM me, whatever, people will rather go to the DMs and have a conversation with me than actually interact on the post or anything like that, or even in stories. People that got money are lurking in the stories. You're gonna see a big, big going back to me posting in stories again because a lot of sales are made that way too. But I'm here to tell you that we're in interest media. So this is why even with me doing this media show, getting on lives is much better for me to do this than to actually, this is what builds community in so many ways. So Aaliyah, like, and some of y'all that are kind of like trying to figure out like when can I really put myself out there and go live and interact with people. Do more of that so people can see that you're human, so people can see that you are, that what you talk about, and I'm just saying in general for everybody too, that what you talk about is the boldness and the work that you do. But then also when you get on live and you're talking to people, you're having conversations with people, let people see the human side of you. Let people know that you like this is my work that I do. And this is kind of how I carry it out in so many ways, right? It's like the what and the why I do it. What's the story behind you showing up so boldly? What's the story behind you getting over certain hardships in your life? Like, cause some people don't realize, like, people don't know your story, and you know these kind of things. Like, you have to start thinking about how you interact with your community. People will resonate with your message when you have a story behind it. That's very important. So that's kind of where you can, what is it called? Fill in the gaps. You can fill in the gaps. Um, Let me go to, oh, Christina says, people want to feel comfortable. Yeah, I told my partner that it must be hard being with me because I'm with my kiddo working. He said, you are in control of your destiny and are working every day. It's awesome to see. I love it. I love it because we're powerhouses. Women are powerhouses, honey. Powerhouses. Powerhouses. It's like they love when I talk to them crazy. Let me share a secret, Aaliyah. Like for y'all, like y'all know I'm a coach, right? So I'm a coach. Try to see how to put this. Everybody doesn't identify with a coach as a coach, and that's okay, right? I'm a coach by that's just how I can call myself whatever I want to call myself, but everybody will still see me as a coach, and that's fine. I've already like accepted that to be the reality. It is what it is. But I'm hard. I've calmed down. I really have. I've calmed down a lot because I used to get on here. I used to really be hollering, and I've calmed. And I don't know if it's came with age or just I understand people right now or whatever. But people like when you kind of get a little buck. I'm gonna tell you why that is. I'm gonna tell you why that is. It's triggering. It's very much so triggering, but it's also the inner child. It's an inner child thing. It's just like when men go, not men, because I know men and women go to the military, so I have to be careful of that. But people go to the military and they get hollered at. It's programming too, but they get hollered at and yelled at because it's discipline. A lot of people weren't given that discipline when they were younger. So that inner child sometimes comes and but it triggers the adult, but their inner child need to hear that because they ain't never heard that before. They ain't never heard things being put that way before. They're like, "Oh shoot, let me get myself together." I'm the same way. I'm the same way. I've been hollered at by my coaches. I've been hollered at by I've been to the point of tears. That's what I said. Y'all people like, I just think that was so triggering. It is so triggering. No, it's triggering because you want me to coddle you. See, you gotta remember, I have to coach you past the baseline of security. And let me enter this here. Let me insert this here. Those of you who have not or you on the fence about the Substack, I'm sorry, the Substack. See, I'm already messing up. The Soul Stacker Writing Intensive, we start on December 2nd. So after Thanksgiving holiday, okay? Get your booty in that intensive. We're writing, it's not just for Substack, it's for if you want to grow your email newsletter, you want to grow and monetize a community. You need to get your booty in there. It's a 6-week cohort. Okay. So if you are interested, you need to send me a message, get the information so you can secure your seat. We're going to all start together on December 2nd, but you will have access to the course and the contents of the course on November 30th because there's onboarding in there and all that good stuff. And we're going to have homework, but it's to help you monetize your community, get you on a structured path. Do not let this time pass you by because 2026 is coming. And so if you don't have any structure, if you don't have any infrastructure around yourselves, and that's another thing too, the feminine needs infrastructure. You too willy-nilly, that's the problem. And if you're telling yourself, oh, I've invested in so many things, okay, well, you just stay on out there then. Because if you're afraid to invest in yourself, it ain't gonna work for you no way. Because you're looking more at the cost than you are looking at the other side of this. And then if you are not trusting of yourself, you need to get you need to do something with that. Because y'all too old to be still playing around. See, that's the coach hat kicking in. A lot of y'all don't take um you don't take discipline and correction very well either. Because you think somebody is demeaning you and it's not. It's to pull you out of. Because I don't know, I may offend you. I may offend the physiological side of you, but your soul knows that I'm right. Because people, especially women, the feminine wants to. I just want you to call me in my problem. No, we're not calling problems. Where are your numbers? Where's your? Did you do what you said you're gonna do today? I fussed at them last Monday. I was like, "This is you got to get to 100. I ain't put this is your plan." I told and look, some of 'em on here too. I was like, it's ridiculous. I'll tell you that it's ridiculous. I'll say it with love. I'm not pushing you down, but sometimes you need that. You need that. Like it is ridiculous. I remember I had a coach, a mentor, where she asked me a question. And I said, I mean, I forgot, it was like 2023. No, 2022. It was so weird. I was like, oh, da, da, da." She said, get up, go to the mirror, and damn it. She cussed and everything. She said, damn it, say it in the mirror. I'm like, I pay you when successful people hire coaches for a reason. That's why I said coaching is a wealth sport. It's not for everybody. If you are easily offended and you want to hold your trauma higher than your destiny, coaching is not for you. That's why a lot of people don't go no place. You have to be you have to be developed. And this is why I stopped a whole lot of the coaching I was doing because a lot of women don't want to be developed. I develop leaders. That's why I'm only like when I work one-on-ones with agency owners and stuff, they want to go higher than where they already are. Because people will say, well, if you're already successful, why do you need a coach? Are you kidding me? That's what it was for. It's for high performers. It's not for people that want to hold their trauma higher than their destiny. High performers don't care about trauma. It's not for the lazy. It's not for people that want to make excuses for their complacency. If you don't want to do anything radical with your life, if you don't want anything to do anything to change your life, then coaching is not for you. And it's okay. That's why I'm glad I've been coached and mentored by amazing men and women. I hire men and women, and they don't have to look like me all the time. Because it's another thing too. Y'all always want to hire people based on how they relate to you. It's not about relating. My coaches, I don't want them to relate to me like that, like all the time. I don't care about them relate to me. Doggone to help me get me to where I'm supposed to go. because sometimes it's a soul thing. It's not, I don't even look at their life. I don't look at coaches' lives and be like, oh, they have to be in a mansion or they have to be in a Bentley. Some of the best coaches are people that I don't have to see their life. I don't have to identify with the G wagon that they ride in. Careerists or professional coaches. This is a West thing. This is a culture thing. Like when y'all be hiring people based on Gucci belts and stuff like that, I'd be like, when y'all start doing that, and then you mad because you don't see that person. Of course you ain't gonna see them because they're not careerists. They're not there is coaching is not a profession for them. That's why I don't know even agree with people having 50 assistant coaches and you only see that coach maybe one or two times in your entire duration. That's not how coaching was meant. This is a West thing. They just started doing this kind of stuff. People who have been at professional coaches for years, and I know I'm going off on a tangent, they've been professional coaches for years, coach their people. They coach their people. It was never supposed to be affordable anyway. So that's another thing too. Coaching was never supposed to be affordable. Um. Oh, she said, Elias, I was wondering if the way I visually look and my boldness affects my inner, and it may, but that's the beautiful thing about it has to resonate with people. It has to resonate, and the people y'all gotta remember people coming. They're coming. They're coming. You gotta remember, are you playing the long game or the short game? You gotta what game we playing? Which goes to my point. Which goes to my point. When you say, I need y'all to listen to me. Everybody here, give me some hearts if you're still here, if you're listening. If you say that I want to do big things, I want to, how we say, I'm meant to be a millionaire. I'm meant to be da 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 da. I'm meant to be on stages. I'm meant to be. That is a long term game. You're playing the long term game. You're not playing little bitty. You're not playing little bitty. You're playing to not lose instead of playing to win. See, what y'all don't fail to realize is that you're watching other people. See, this is where profession comes in. This is where real coaching comes in. This is listen to what I'm telling you. I know what I'm talking about. I always tell people like if you would just listen and calm yourself down and stop listening to 15,000 people tell you things, listen to what I'm telling you. You have got to understand you're playing the long game. And I think a lot of times women don't want to hear the truth because you're looking at someone else's life. You don't know their work ethic. Your work ethic has to be developed. Just because you can get online and be loud, just because you can get online and holler, is it conceptual? Is it process? Is it development? Does it make sense? Does it require work? What is the psycho emotional and social part of this? When people are getting properly developed character wise, you have to understand this is development because you have identity involved. Coaching requires identity and process. Yes, we advertise and market the outcome, which is very important. You want the outcome, yes, but to be more obsessed with the outcome than the identity, I'm preaching, and the process to hold that outcome, you missing the whole point. You're missing the area of holding what you say you want to have. The outcome is no problem. It's the identity and the doggone process that you fail to be missing. This is why you have such an issue with sticking to the things that you say you're going to stick to because you don't have you don't identify with it and you don't know the process. This is why you don't stay consistent because you don't have any identity. Your identity is not tied to the outcome that you say you want. That's why you in and out. I'm talking to everybody now. I'm on everybody's edges today. The baseline of security, the baseline of stability and coherence. It was a lady that talked about this on her TikTok, and it was so good. I talked about it on my TikTok, and I tagged the creator's name, but it was something that I've been talking about for a while. That when people get to a place of baseline, when they feel better, that's why I used to tell women, when you get a client, don't sit, keep going. And people used to get mad because they were like, "Well, coach, you're not going to celebrate that." Like, okay, I'll celebrate it. Yeah, I'm happy. But and I always tell clients, I was like, so get another one. Because I know when you sit, you're gonna sit because it's the baseline of security. The baseline of stability. I got a client and you feel a little bit better. Your confidence inched up until that them numbers start dropping again. When them numbers start dropping again, that's when you start panicking again. And that's what they call the feast and famine, the fight or flight. You start fighting. Your emotions start revving up because women are highly emotional, but we spread our emotional responses out. See, men explode. That's why they say they're more emotional because men explode in their emotions. Women, we can inch it out. We let everybody know what's going on with us every day. But we also have an issue with holding the identity of that outcome that we want. And y'all got to be okay with, because like I said, the identity and the process, you have to enjoy the process. And in order to get from who you are today to the you that you say you want to become, that's going to take a jump. So first of all, you got to act like you already there. So just think, we talk about quantum theory. You gotta that's a just be you have to get over there. But you also have to do this. So it's a leap and a process. So you're talking about two different developments that you have to do to confirm. Ooh, you have to confirm that. If you don't know how to show up for yourself, if you don't know how to market, if you don't know how to talk to people, if you don't know how to get your tail up and give a crap, what makes you think that the outcome is going to stick? What makes you think? When you say you're going to do something, when you say you want something, when you say you're after destiny, and when you say you want to change your life, changing your life is not just, you know, I just want to be in business to make these millions. You in business for the long haul. You in business through the cycles, the economic cycles, the downturns, the upturns, not only when people getting stimulus checks. You don't quit, you pivot. You pivot. Stop giving up. Y'all give up too much for me. That's another thing. Y'all give up too much for me. How I'm still trying to work through this stuff. Work through what? What do you work through? Cause see, we passed that. You had time to work on it. You gotta learn how to work on stuff when your coach is not around. That's the homework. You gotta talk yourself out of stuff and do the work when you not. And look, and only when You only doing the work only when a bill is due. Or when your husband or your partner or your girlfriend or your boyfriend come tell you like, okay, when's something gonna happen? And then here you go. Let me hurry up and do something. No. Why do you need that on your back in order to make you move? Because you don't want to do it. You want it easy. Nobody promised you easy. Nobody promised you that. Y'all stop listening to these women tell you about soft life stuff. That's don't get me started. Please don't. Y'all, that's the worst thing that happened to y'all. I'm be honest. That's the worst thing that happened to some of y'all, even with husbands. Y'all better stop this stuff. My husband take care of me. Baby, I'm happy for you. And you know I'm always about provider and a please have one. Cause you're the woman. Okay? Please don't get so comfortable. And I'm proud of you. You chose well. And I know he love you. But that man gonna get tired one day. And they usually get tired first because they're wear and tear on their bodies to keep his house together. It does happen. And while you over there sitting pretty in your pink and lace and your lavender and your you know, I want you to also have some skills because you're gonna have to sustain if something happened to him. He supported you all these years, and see, this is what some of y'all be making me mad because y'all be having men that pour money into y'all, and you in the negative in your own household. That's crazy to me, baby. That's why I say I'll probably be a double, triple millionaire by now, multimillionaire by now. If I had a man that was pumping money into me because he knew I had a husband, what? Because he know me and he know I'm gonna get it done. He be like, baby, here go some more money. Here go 15,000. Here go 25. How much he cost? Here go 100K. We're gonna mortgage the house. Because he know I'ma flip it. Shh. Mm-mm. You know, God knew. God knew. God knew. Because he always, baby, I'm gonna flip. You either the favor or you in the way. So which one is it? I told y'all you gotta escape daughtership. Get out of daughtership. That man is not your daddy. I know you want him to be your dad. I know you call him daddy when y'all doing stuff. You ain't gotta we grown, but you are also a wealth catalyst in your home. You're a wealth catalyst. You're supposed to be that. You can't be the Proverbs 31 woman and not get your tail up at the bed and do something. I'm a Proverbs 31 woman. Where is your land? Did your husband, did your man trust you with money and you went and spend it up instead of going out there and buying? See, I don't get impressed with he get my nails under my he give me money to do that. If y'all just got one house, what are you doing with the rest of the money? Y'all could have bought land and all kinds of properties for your children. That don't please don't get me started. That's matriarchal energy right there. That's matriarchal energy. Think about what y'all saying and think about what you doing. Consider the land and buy it. Anyway, let me get out y'all business because are you married? No, thank God I'm not. Thank God I'm not. Because, baby, let me tell you. So, the baseline of security, you got to have it's the long haul that you're after. It's the long haul that you're after. It's the longevity that you are after. It is the permanency that you're after. So even with ChatGPT and content, use the app, use these systems for what AI is supposed to be used for. People are hallucinating. People are having going through psychosis. People are, I told y'all what I tell you, these AI systems are gonna be positioned as religion. They're positioning these things to be um God. I told you this. Y'all get too wrapped up in I need ChatGPT because you ain't got nobody else to talk to. You need friends and you need to go talk to people. That's another reason why you're off is because you're going to this non-judgment, non-emotional machine to to ask questions and to get awakening and spiritual awakening content and information. So I have all these questions. So, chat, can you tell me da- 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 da?" And it's just, yeah. So, you were born for this and humans, da- 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 da." And so now you then, oh, is so awake. And now you're thinking that this thing is a trapped sentient being, and it's not. It's pattern recognition. There are trillions of data in these machines. And you over here treating it like it's your BFF. Now, while I will say, she gonna look out for you when it comes down to printables and email templates, digital products. I'm telling you, she gonna make sure you got what you need. Like I can call her a she, but I'm gonna tell you this: a lot of y'all don't realize. Get you a database. Get focused on using these systems to get you ahead. Don't use ChatGPT for strategies and getting all of these prompts and stuff like that. And then you don't go, you need to try the strategies, question everything that she's telling you, it's telling you, he's telling you, and then go back and say, okay, let me try this. Listen to what I'm saying because I'm telling you, this is how a lot of y'all be messing up. ChatGPT would give you or whatever you use, Grok, whatever, DeepSeek. I love DeepSeek, by the way. Um, Go and use these systems. Tell it to give you a strategy. Get clarity on it, right? It's going to give you the strategies that you need, and then go back and report. I'm gonna tell you how. I'm gonna tell you how you can use this to help you with your imposter syndrome if it come up. When you go back and you tell ChatGPT over time, okay, so these are the results. You got to remember to do that. And if you forget to do that, tell ChatGPT this is a trick or a hack. I know it can do this, and I know Perplexity can do this, and I know Google Gemini can do this. Tell it to create a task to alert you to come back, whatever the check-in point to give you time to implement those steps. Have it to come back to create a task for you to come back and report the results that you got because this two things it does. It helps you with remembering to try out those strategies, and then it will keep you accountable for you to come back. So once you do it over time, does this resonate? Does this resonate with people? When you go back and you do this over time, when you get in your feelings and you start saying things like, "Oh, maybe I don't need to do this, Chad. I'm having a hard time with trying to believe this thing, and I really want to pitch to this client, or I really want to go after this organization, but I just really don't have the confidence." You know what Chad gonna do? Chad gonna go all the way back because now it has memory to remember all of the conversations that y'all have had over time. What she gonna do is draw back all this data of growth and all of the reports that you have done with her, and she gonna say, Jay, Aaliyah, Courtney, who else on here? Christina, Harley, that's not true. You can do this. You are the same one that grew your newsletter by 51%. You started off here and now you're here. You helped a client go from this to this by using these steps. She is going to remind you You know how in the past, before ChatGPT was even a thing, right? What we used to do with social proof is we used to put it in folders. We used to put it in folders in our Google Drive, and then what we used to do, like if you got down on yourself, you would go back to that folder and remind yourself of all the good that you've done, because it validates and confirms it confirms a lot of the things that you have done for people so that you can keep showing up for yourself. Does that make sense? So, but now you have ChatGPT to reiterate, because y'all have had conversations. AI has become a partner in your business as opposed to it being an emotional support tool only, or a spiritual awakening tool. You already know stuff shot. Anybody got to tell you that stuff ain't shot? So you need to understand that in order for you to see yourself in longevity, you use AI for what you need to use it for, and stop using it to give you information that is in avoidance. It would tell you your content, like the growth focus and growth structure, but you have to be able to feed it with the right information. A lot of y'all got to get better at prompt engineering. You need to get better at your um reporting back results. I don't know if Substack is just resonating. I don't know if it's resonating with YouTube, but I'm telling you, if you was able to use chat as a partner in your business, in your content structure, in how you show up for your clients, even when you're talking to your clients and they're telling you about things, and you're like, "Ooh, that's a good something," and then you ask ChatGPT real quick, typing it out, and then you can come to your client and say, "Okay, so this is a report we received." There's nothing fraudulent about that. You're using it as a co-creator in your business to help your clients get better. So you're getting optimum results each and every single time. Make sure you like this video, YouTube. The thumbs up under the video, like the video so we can get it pushed up the algorithm. Make sure you tell people about the morning show too. Join the Soul Stacker Writing Intensive today. Actually, this is our last week for the current cohort. I'm kind of sad, but they're coming back. They're coming back. They're coming back to the December one. We're gonna have a full class. It's gonna be a good class. It's gonna be a good cohort. Yeah, I'm glad it resonates, Harley, because I'm telling you, a lot of people do not understand um using these tools to get you ahead, which is why even with global, right? So globally, that let me touch on this. When we're talking about global growth, okay? Global growth. I told y'all you got to start looking at what platforms would it give me the best reach. Now, here we go. Before you say, "Oh, I'm trying to do on TikTok. I'm trying to." This is what I want you to start thinking about. In order for you, because most of our ooh, let me put this phone on the charger. Because I just don't want it to heat up. Before you get in your mind and you start to overthink things, I want you to start thinking about the strategic way of getting global reach. Most of our audience and the algorithm is going to show people that live in the same areas that we do. So, America, like US. Most of the people that we follow are from the US because of language and culture and all that, right? Now, when you're trying to build a global audience, you're going to have to strategically make time to go search out groups, communities within the platform. You can do that with Facebook. Facebook, you can start with digital nomads, you can start with expats, and you can start there because you got to remember language barrier entry. Okay. So there's language barriers. So you need to start connecting with people in those areas, expats, Um, and most people can speak English in different countries. A lot of people, it's Americans that are real limited. 'Cause me too, because Imma learn Mandarin and Spanish. Because I learned French in high school. Don't ask me to speak it. But you need to be able to connect with people, go into certain groups. Substack. You got a whole and see, we talk about this in the Soul Stacker Writing Intensive. We talk about the globalizing of your work, getting in front of new people and new fresh leads in other places because they have international tabs. They have tabs that are connected to other parts of the world that y'all don't even know about. You have to intentionally do this. You can't expect to post and people just run to you because, oh my God, I'm from Sweden. Oh my goodness, I'm from Nigeria. And I saw this. No, you have to strategically go seek these people out and connect with them for your algorithm to change. You understand? Does it resonate? Does that help? Because I'm gonna tell you this. Every platform has the potential to do it. I think Threads is a little off just because Threads is still new, but I'm gonna tell y'all this, even though Threads is the Hunger Games of social media, in my opinion, um, X is the Mortal Kombat of social media, in my opinion. But Threads is going to pick up. That's actually one of the top. Substack is up there too, but Threads is the top social media platform that's supposed to take off next year. I don't know why, but it's the dialogue, it's the conference, but it's short form content. Okay, it's short form. So if you are trying to get clients and stuff like that on Threads, you got to remember it's short form and you need to lead them to a long form place before you start trying to close people. Threads, all short form content is good for short term investments, such as a course, lead magnet, email list, something like that. Lower cost, low commitment. Everybody with me? Long form is good for higher ticket, more longer, 4, 5, 6 weeks, 12 weeks, 1 year programs, which is why I do both. I have a circular ecosystem. I have short form, short um, investments, and on the back end, what you cannot see. I'm sorry, is it sticking a little bit? What you cannot see. See, I don't have my high ticket stuff advertised. This going up the ecosystem. You have to get on the back end for me to offer you something on a one-on-one level. I don't put that on my see. A lot of people think, well, she just don't do high ticket. No, I don't advertise. It's silly. I don't put high ticket on the front. First of all, just because it's high ticket don't mean it's the right ticket. I have to work with you first and get your stamina because I'm gonna tell you this. So people saying, I really want to work with you at some point, but I don't want to. No, sometimes you need to start at that level. You need to probably start at a $19, like I have for for example. I got my $19 subscription on Substack. I got all kinds of frameworks. People ask me stuff, and I'm like, "You a paid subscriber? It's right there. You just not looking at it." I got all these paid articles, all these resources for y'all, a whole page, a 7-day challenge, all these things on the paid subs side. And you don't even look at it. See, a lot of times you need to start there. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care if you high ticket. I don't care. See, a lot of people get into this high ticket, low ticket conversation like it's oh my god, I'm high ticket. So what? You still have a lot of churn. You give refunds more than anything I know, and you wonder why you can't retain people. You can't retain people because you don't know them. High ticket ain't always a flex. Okay, let me throw that out there. What you want is the right ticket. I've had people that I absolutely love working with, even on a two, four, $500 level, that did a one-on-one with me. And it ain't synonymous with people think like, oh my gosh, she's only charging $500 or she only charging 200. Like, I no, it's for you. It ain't for me. Because I guarantee you, if I can get you results at 200, I can get you results at 20K. My highest offer is 50,000. Yeah, I said I didn't stutter. My highest offer is 50,000. Where is it? It ain't on the front. You ain't gonna see it. You don't need to. What you gonna do? Just look at it? Mm-mm, that's not presented to everybody. That is those are series of conversation before I offer that to anybody. That's not a one call situation. This ain't no new and then pop in at 50K and oh my gosh, 50K after one conversation. And then that person turned out to be a nightmare in 2 weeks. Are you kidding me? I will pay you to go away. Mm-mm. I'd be like, baby, you can have this money back because I'm not gonna do this with you. Stop thinking everything is a flex. This is a business. It matters more about the client and the joy that you get. I'm just telling you. I'm not even being funny when I say this. A lot of people are really infatuated with closing a 10K client or 15K client or 20K client or whatever, but you don't think about the fit. It's supposed to be a fit, and you have to test fit because everybody that got the money, even still, even people that have the money, I still need to make sure it's a fit. You're in business. You understand? I don't get impressed because when I have a conversation with people, I have told people no that had the money, was ready to pay me, and I told them no. I It wasn't that I lack confidence. I would tell them, I don't think this is the right fit. I don't think this is, and it would seem like the right fit. This person will pay me, and then within 2 weeks, I'm like, this ain't gonna work. And I would send them, and this doesn't happen often. I don't fire clients often. I've done this maybe one hand and a half in the past 5.5 years that I fired clients because of really, really like, I've had I fired one client for discriminating and being very ugly and disrespectful to another client that I had in my program. I got rid of her. Had clients where was just straight up disrespectful. You got to go. And I've had clients that just did not was not doing the work, and I refunded them. You got to go. This is about the long game, but you have to be confident in business to even have that type of approach. And you know what? And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. Everybody I've ever done that to, have respected me even more so after that. Cause I told them I'm the real deal. I don't need your money. I this is the long haul for me. This is my business. This is my company. I'm very, very selective of who I let come into my world. And I'm very serious about that. You are I didn't I'm not in corporate. Corporate I can't choose. Here in Ellison Consulting, I choose. And if you got a nasty attitude, personality is ugly and trash, and you lazy and you don't want to do nothing and you don't want to listen, you don't have any intent on following anything or working, don't do that. And this is coming from somebody, like I said, you're a client of mine, and I cherish my client relationships because it's very important. I work for my clients. I do. If they have issues, I go above and beyond. That's what you're supposed to do as a coach. You're not supposed to just lay back and just be and chill out. You're working. You have scalable items. Like, for example, you have scalable things like trainings to support them. Like, okay, so let's take, for example, Sasha. Sasha is one of my clients. She's been in the Matriarch CEO coaching program, the old program I had. Um, I sunsetted that program earlier this year. And but she was a part of that program since 2022. Taking the thing back out. And my point is that we're talking about identity and process. Her identity quantum leaped. And y'all, my phone is kind of overheating. So if it's static and sticky, that's why I had to take the charger out. It's a quantum leap. So we were able to help her with her curriculum. Like, she didn't have a curriculum at first. She didn't have any of those things. Like, the way that she's teaching now, she's able to travel. She has a full program. She has multiple offers, and she's able to travel. And she's able to also have time for herself. You have to be able to have the positioning and hold many clients at a level of and be the leader. That's another thing, capacity. And I'm getting ready to close. It's a capacity thing too. She had to be coached through that. That's why I told people, like, if you're not trying to be coached for at least a year, it takes about a good year to see a complete identity flip. I can teach you process. I can teach you frameworks. I can teach you how to, maybe handle a question here, question there, but it really takes a year or more to coach a person into full identity and capacity development. You can learn how to do DMs. You can learn how to do a masterclass. You can learn how to, put an email newsletter together. That's not really coaching. That's strategy. That's implementation of different features for your business. But a lot of people continue to fail in business because they are not willing to invest in proper character and identity development, and to understand and follow frameworks and processes so that you can stay in business. Just because you stay in business and have stayed in business does not mean that you're good in business. It just means you're sporadic and you're emotional in your business, and you're only doing things when you feel a deadline coming up, or I'm going on a hiatus. Why do you need to go on a hiatus? Because you have not been developed. Why do you hide? Why do you post every now and then? Because you don't have an identity to your business. Your identity is still back here. This stuff is for real. CEOs are coached and mentored to show up. I have $1 million clients. I'm not bragging, but I can brag. I can really brag. I can really get on y'all nerves and brag. Because a lot of y'all don't know my client portfolio. I've had clients on TV, all kinds of stuff, getting all kinds of opportunities. Buying property and land and all kinds of things. I'm blessed, but that's because they went through what? Proper identity and character development, and they come back. My retention is 89%. People that are coached by me, they come back. They come back, and they come back again, and they come back again. I got another client that worked with me back in 2020, coming back in 2025. She's like, "I just acquired another business. I need your help bad." Anyway, I gotta go. I gotta go. So this soul stacker writing intensive that I'm doing, this ain't for a little bit of coins. It's for you. Because when I reopen up my 10K program, my 15K program, you'll be ready. So this is really for some of y'all that need some help and you want to be pushed. And like I said, when I open, go back to open it because I'm gonna reopen Matriarch. I don't need. I just wish I could because you didn't do all this right here because you thought that you wouldn't. I'm just ready to know you're not ready for that because I'm really gonna tell you no. You get up there. Mm-mm. And I'm not trying to have 400, 500 women in no program that can barely show up for themselves. I'm not greedy. I tell people that real quick. I'm not greedy, baby. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna have 50 women in my program in the name of you ain't tearing my nervous system up. Because I need to be trying to track data. I need to see your notes. I need to check homework. I need to be giving feedback. I have videos to make. I tell you, see, I'm in the trenches with my people. So you gotta you gotta elevate past trying to appease the industry and appease yourself. This is about your walk, your journey, and your focus. I'm not saying you got to run a business like me. I'm not you. But we create the infrastructure for you to sustain. This is why I'm still in business and a lot of people are not because they did it for trend. They did it for the bros. I told people this coaching is a profession. America tore this industry clean up. Marketers tore this up. They tore it up. That's why you don't have a whole lot of coaches that are still in the game. They're all marketers. They're marketers. And they only help people with leads. They don't help people with identity. They don't do that work. So when you see these guys with sweatshirts on and all this stuff talked about, we can help you get 100 leads in a week, and we can help you to those are marketers. When you see women always talking about, running ads about this is what I do and this is what I do, those are marketers. Coaching is identity. Coaching is character. Coaching is high performance work. Those are relationship oriented sales processes. You get to know people by the work that you do, and you have it on display with a Substack, with an email newsletter, with a blog, with something like that, with your posts. You're making a portfolio of work, you're doing case studies, you're doing the actual process driven work. But in order to have case studies, you need to also have people that you're talking to and getting results. People don't know what you do. This is why a lot of people aren't getting clients because you don't even have case studies. Well, I don't have any clients. Go get some, create some. You don't know people in your network that you can coach real quick. You can't put some sessions up and tell people to sign up for your calendar and be properly coached and you get the data. You think you're finna just leap up to $5,000 offers and you don't know how to talk to people? And you don't even know what you're doing because you just want the money? Do you wanna stay in business or do you wanna make some money? There's 2 different types of entrepreneurs. There's entrepreneurs that look at this work and say, "I just wanna make more money." And then you got people like myself that run a business, and you're not in competition with people. Even though people think that they're in competition with you, you're not in competition because you run a practice. I run a practice. There's a difference. Coaching is a practice. I get paid just as much as a freaking attorney. You know what my hourly coaching used to be? $1,000 an hour. I'm not kidding when I say that. $1,000. I'm about to take it back up. January 1st, all this stuff in the triple. And I really mean that. I'm being serious. And I'm not even just blowing smoke. I'm going back up. Keeping the media company going, keeping the lives going, of course. But to work with me, I'm serious about that. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Case studies, testimonials. Care about data. Do you have data? Some of y'all don't even know what to post on because you don't have any data. I have a lot of testimonials. I really tear a lot of people up if I posted all of them, which Ty Lopez said to post them everywhere. I love Ty Lopez. He's too funny. He a marketer too. But pop yourself. If you have testimonials, talk about the process. I know I ain't talk about some of the stuff I said we're gonna talk about on here. That's what we got tomorrow. So how many of y'all gonna be back tomorrow? How many of y'all just put me in the comments if you're gonna be back at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time? Who's gonna come back tomorrow? 9 o'clock, right here on Substack, right here on YouTube. Who's coming back? When you come back tomorrow, if you come back tomorrow, if you come back tomorrow, bring somebody with you. I don't care if it's a friend. I don't care if it's tell somebody in the comments, say, girl, you got to come listen to this woman. This is how we grow. This is how we grow. Okay. I know y'all want to keep me to yourselves. I love y'all too. But we do want to grow. Okay. So back here, meet me back here, 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. Bring somebody with you right here on Substack. And of course, right here on YouTube. I got to get ready for class in about an hour with the Soul Sackers. And but we got this, y'all. Stay focused. Stay focused. All right. Bye, Substack. Thank y'all for being here. And enroll in the Soul Stacker Writing Intensive. I'm not playing with y'all. Bye. Bye, YouTube.